Hello everyone, this is Seraphine playing a Link to the Past Litemare, where I took the Nightmare preset and decided, no, I don't want Swordless, I don't want randomized enemy health and damage, and I don't want expert item pool and functionality, but let's keep the other stuff. As you can see, we've gotten a pretty decent amount of equipment now. We got a sword, we got the boots, we got gloves, some bottles, bow, hammer, both canes. I think the big thing we're looking for at this point, as far as next progression goes, is the Moon Pearl. Yeah, I've been looking forward to getting back to this, because after last time I went through my notes, realized I had forgotten about a few entrances that are pretty easy to overlook if you don't play a lot of entrance randomizer. Like there's the Hammerlocks building in Village of Outcasts, there's the Curiosity Shop, neither of which you've had any reason to go to normally, but this does have entrance randomizer, and what's more, the Insanity entrance randomizer, so you walk in a door, you walk back out, you're probably somewhere else entirely. Oh, right, this is blocked off by bushes. But yeah, I realized one thing I'd completely forgotten about, which is only there in Inverted, which is also is, as you can see by being in bunny mode in the light world. Yeah, so in Inverted, Ganon's normal location is he busts a hole in the top balcony, terrace, whatever of Hyrule Castle, up above the entrance here, and you drop down in there and fight him. So if you fall from the fight, they need a place for you to come out, and that's what this is. Presumably this is randomized along with everything else, so let's see what's in here. Okay, this is the bottom of Spiral Cave, which is not terribly useful by itself, but because this does have multiple entrances, the exit will go somewhere else. Alright, so the Ganon exit goes to Spiral Bottom, which then goes to what? Okay, this is kind of a big find, because this is the only way you can get here in Entrance Randomizer usually. Especially in Inverted, because you can't mirror to this location. Yeah, normally you would just come through the house, but with the innards all shuffled around, you're not guaranteed to, and probably can't do that. So this comes to Brothers Left. I will make a note of that here. I will also make a note of that down in my connectors, because that is a connector from the top entrance. Spiral Bottom goes to Brothers Left. Spiral Top, we don't know how to get there. There is an item in that cave, and even if we manage to stumble across it as a bunny, you can still open that, because falling to it enables Super Bunny, the glitch where you can use your A and B items in bunny mode. So yeah, we've come out to Brothers Left. You can't get through the race game as a bunny because bushes. But yeah, I don't have anything recorded for that, so there's probably not important. I should double check that later, just in case. But let me find the spot. Brothers Left. So if we go back in here, this takes us to Eastern Palace. Okay, this is good knowledge. Eastern Palace is at Brothers Left. Yeah, let's do the bunny revive and look around. I don't have the big keys, so I can't finish this, but we can get a few items. Yeah, one of the better known glitches in Crossed or in Insanity Entrance to Randomizer is that if you get to a dungeon in the Dark World or in Inverted the Light World when you don't have the Moon Pearl, if you just go ahead and get yourself killed, you'll be revived as your usual self and not as a bunny. Which means that although it's out of logic, you can do a significant amount of the dungeon, sometimes all of it, depending on what you have. And there's the map of these down, which is... I mean, it'll let us know whether it's a pendant or crystal when we check the maps later. Yeah, because this is Keysanity, maps and compasses are shuffled, so you need a map to tell whether a dungeon has a pendant or a crystal. And you need... well, you don't need the compass really ever, but having the compass lets you see, as you can tell at the status bar up the top, right underneath the rupees and bombs, it will tell you how many items you've collected. Which again is never necessary, but it's good for peace of mind. Let's done this. I forget what the stun price is, but I don't think it was terribly useful. Okay, so this room, enemies are not randomized because this is a special thing where they spawn after the fact. There's the magic cape. Have we found Bumper Cave? We have found Bumper Cave, but we've seen both exits already, so that's not important. You don't have the big key, so you can't open this, and... oh, laser beam. Yeah, I don't really feel like doing this in the dark. Although... let's just go ahead. If I do get killed, I'll save and continue from the entrance and see what's outside. And if I don't get killed, then... oh, something's hitting me. Oh, it's an Octorok. Yes, this is normally one of the easiest dark rooms in the game, but with Randomizer on, there's no telling what's actually in here. But it seems to have been relatively tame this time. So I can grab this item. Right, the Randomizer will randomize what's at the fairy spot. The anti-fairy spot. Okay, so that's money. Money has its uses. Especially since we haven't seen all that much of it. So coming out of Eastern, we're at the mountain descent again. It seems like a lot of exits are coming here. And... is there anything else worth going to up here? Alright, so I can cross the Ganon exit off my list of things to check. Oh, there is one here, actually. If I go back into Mountain Descent Cave, this takes us to the top of Spectacle Rock. Obviously, can't get across there to get whatever that key is, but you can drop down here and come out this exit, which I have not checked yet. At least if my summary of things I haven't checked is correct. Yeah, I don't remember coming through here. So spec exit is Desert Right. Which is not necessarily completely useless, because we can go back inside here and see where it goes. This is Lumberjack exit. There's a key there. So I will note that. Lumberjack Ledge has a small key, which I have not gotten. Yes, Beckrock Middle has a small key, that's already noted. Do I have this on my list of pseudo connectors? No, but I don't have any other drop downs either, so that's fine. Alright, so that was Desert Right, which comes here, and if we come out here, this is the stump in the woods. So, wood stump. Was there anything else around here I wanted to check? Actually, I have it marked as forest stump earlier, so I use that terminology. Forest stump. Okay, so we checked mountain descent to spec rock to spec exit, so that's nothing of importance. What else can we check? Alright, if I go to the tavern, that goes into Hyrule Castle. So Hyrule Castle, we've checked the left and middle exits, but not the right exit. Just confirm that. Yeah, Hyrule Castle left exited from the old man exit, and I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, because now I have to save and quit. Can't pick up bushes as a bunny. It's okay, I can get there just as easily from here. Yeah, this is actually a pretty convenient starting point for Link's house, or will be once we have the Moon Pearl. But even now, it's not that bad. It gives you quick access to Kakariko, which has a ton of entrances as usual. So yeah, if we go back out here, that goes to TR Ledge East. Did we check everything on TR Ledge? Yes. I forgot the left, that was the back exit from the old man's residence, I guess. He does seem to live in that cave, right? And yeah, that was inconvenient. Good news is I can save and continue and not be in bunny mode. Yeah, I have to go past the Xenox to get out there, but dashing makes it easy, so especially with a sword. Without the sword, I'd have run into it. With the sword, you can just go right through anything you damage. So this is Desert Palace left. Have we seen this before? We've seen Desert back entrance and couldn't do anything because of the rocks in the way. We have not seen this, so this will be something else. This is a map, which I might as well pick up. It's useless. Yeah, these are hearts. But yes, if we come back in here, this goes to Blindside Out. Where we cannot collect the items because bunny. Wait, I'm in Super Bunny? I'm in Super Bunny mode because of picking up the map. Does that last down the stairs? Yes, it does. Okay, so we can grab most of these, but can't use bombs. 10 arrows, piece of heart, 10 bombs, and a key to Misery Mire. This only has the one exit, so the shots come out the same place. I'm 99% sure. Yep. So that's another dead end as far as entrances go, but that's good to know. There's still the last item to get in there. Alright, so I've checked Hyrule Castle exit. Yeah, what goes... Is there a quick way up the mountain from here? Because there was another thing I can do there. It seems like just about everything goes up to the mountain descent, but nothing in the immediate vicinity. Oh no, I can check a few of our entrances here. We've not checked Fart Cave, we've not checked the Desert Ferry. We of course haven't checked Checkerboard Cave, but we can't get to that. We haven't checked the cave under the rock, but again, we can't get to that. Yeah, enemy shuffle can do really weird things, so you have swords just sitting around. Alright, and because it's inverted, you can just walk up there to the tablet because you can't mirror to it. This is a fairy fountain, so Desert Fairy is nothing of value. Alright, and I forgot to go check Fart Caves. Properly Genus Cave, but it's sometimes known as Fart Cave in the Randomizer community because one of the lines they replaced his text with says something about uh, something about farting so bad that all the jazz hand guys were driven out into the desert. Okay, this is Thieves Town. I'll mark that Thieves Town is at Fart Cave, and it is the green pendant. And it is quite easy to get yourself killed in here to revive, especially with one of those doing 4 hearts of damage. So this will be out of logic, but we can get the 4 items in the front. Yeah, I have the map, but not the key. Yeah, one thing I didn't notice this episode that I have noted before is that normally if you have an even on Insanity shuffle, if you have something with a single exit or entrance, then going back out the entrance will take you where you came in. But you may have noticed that was not the case for Eastern Palace. And the reason for that is that does not include dungeons, it's only houses and caves. So if you have a single entrance dungeon, and you go back out the entrance, that can take you anywhere. And as usual, on Randomizer, Thieves Town is having a lot of slowdown and choppiness. I was about to say, did getting hit by a bunny beam get me stuck in bunny form? And no, it doesn't. The big key to Eastern. Okay, so now we can finish Eastern Palace, but we cannot finish Thieves Town because that is not the Thieves Town big key. I am quite looking forward to getting the mirror so I don't have to death warp. And also because it makes it easier to get to things. But what's outside here? That's Hyrule Castle main, so that's not helpful. Maybe a little bit. Did that kick us? I forget already. Ganon exit went to Spiral Bottom, which went to Brothers Left, which went to... where is it? Mountain Descent Cave. So that does take us back up the mountain, so there was one more thing I wanted to do there. Yeah, it's ridiculous the kind of shortcuts you can get in this mode. Well, there's Eastern too, but... Here. Desert Palace. Yeah, I noted earlier that as a bunny, you cannot pick up the pots, which means you can't get to the middle exit, but... we have the bunny revival glitch. So, being a bunny is something that is easily dealt with. I did seal the key, but I don't want to use that just yet. Don't have the big key. So you can check the map text, we can check the torch, and we can check the middle exit. And I think that'll be it for this time, so... we've had some useful finds, nothing groundbreaking, but... and we got the cape, we got the Eastern big key, we found Eastern in Thieves' Town. Those are all worthwhile. Good armor. I will definitely take that with only 6 hearts. Alright, Stun Prize was a heart. And yeah, now that we're not a bunny, you can just come out here. Yeah, I'm assuming based on other Pokemon sprites I've seen, this is the Lichen Rock Shiny coloration. And this is the Midnight form, I confirmed. Okay, that takes us out Hookshot Cave. So... have we been here before? I can't remember. I think so. Alright, DP main is Hookshot Cave. And if I go to my Dark World entrances, yeah, Hookshot Cave is Useless Fairy, which goes to Aga Tower, which is also on the mountain. Yeah, just a quick view of how our notes are looking like. I found a lot of things in the Light World. There's about half a dozen more that I haven't checked that are accessible. As far as entrances go, found a decent amount of stuff in the Dark World. There's something like 10 of these I still haven't checked. Which is kind of odd when you think of that, because that's where we have the full functionality. Actually, more like a dozen if you include Mire. Because we have found a way into the Mire area, so that's the thing. And there's one more connector I had access to I haven't checked. It was the... well, there's a dark cave, but that's... I don't even know which dark cave it is. And I'm not going to try to get through there without a light on Randomizer without knowing which cave it is. I'm not even going to try going through the Death Mountain Descent cave, because that's one of the more difficult ones to navigate. And again, it's Randomizer. But, yeah, mountain entry to DB Ray. Okay, so Desert Palace was the other connector I hadn't checked that I technically have access to, so... yeah, as far as general notes, we found Eastern, we found Desert, back, we found Pod, we found Swamp Palace, we found Thieves Town, we found Ice Palace, we found Mire, we found Turtle Rock, we found Ganon's Tower, and we found Ganon himself. We have cleared the front escape, not the back. Bushcrafts have bombs, Stone Price's heart. We have these items we've seen that are potentially useful if not gotten to. That grove, as I've noticed, might end up not being necessary, because there's very little that admits hard walk in Entrance Shuffle. And in Inverted in general. But, yeah. Next time we've got more entrances check, I think I might start with the Light World ones, just to... nah, let's start with the Dark World ones, because we have full functionality there. If we find something useful, we can actually do something. Whereas with the Light World checks, they're more trouble to get to without being able to dash, and if you go into something that we want to take stuff that kind of can't. Plus, there's more Dark World checks still, which again is kind of weird. I've been focusing more on the Light World than I should have. Anyway, this has been Aerophon playing the Light to the Past Randomizer of what I call Litemare mode. And come back next time and we will explore more entrances.